Welcome in everybody to another lesson. Today we're going to talk about the area of shapes. So yesterday we talked about perimeter of shapes, which is just the distance around the outside of a shape, such as, for a quick review, such as a triangle, a square, or a rectangle. So the perimeter is just the distance around the outside. The area, on the other hand, is the coverage of the entire shape. If we're trying to find the area, it's going to be the coverage of the entire shape. I'm just filling in these shapes because that's what area represents. It's the entire coverage of the shape. So you're probably asking, why would you want to find the area of a shape? Well, for example, you want to paint a wall. You're going to need to know about how many gallons of paint to get to cover that area of a wall. Or you want to get carpeting or hardwood floor. It's going to be done in area by square feet. Or let's say you want to get grass seed for your lawn. You're going to need so much per square foot. Those are just many examples of the area of covering areas. So let's start with rectangles. To find the area of a rectangle, of course you have your length and your width. To find the area, which is capital A, you just take your length times your width. That's all it is the length times the width. You'll get the coverage of the whole entire area. So again, area is length times width of a rectangle. I'll put that up here so we have it for our formula. Area equals length times width. So let's say the length is 20 feet and the width is 5 feet, right? We want to find the area of this rectangle. The area is going to be your length, which would be 20 feet, times your width, which would be 5 feet. Now, when you multiply, you're going to have, of course, 20 times 5, which is 100, but you'll have feet times feet, which would make it feet squared. So your area is going to be 100 feet squared, or 100 square feet. Whatever you do feet times feet, or any unit times a unit, that unit becomes squared to the second power. So the area is 100 feet squared. Alright, let's say for this one we have 3 kilometers for the length. Then we have 1.5 kilometers for the width. So we have 3 kilometers for the length, 1.5 kilometers for the width. So the area is your length times your width. That's just going to be 3 kilometers times 1.5 kilometers. Right? Now you multiply 3 times 1.5 is 4.5. Then you got kilometers times kilometers, which would make it kilometers squared to the second power. So the area of this rectangle is 4.5 kilometers squared. So really all you do to find the area, the whole coverage of the area is to multiply, and then you'll have your unit squared. So you multiply length times the width, that's it. Let's go ahead and go over some squares. How do you find the area of a square? It's even simpler yet. So yeah, I'll draw this square. We have a square with, of course, they only give you one side, but remember, in a square, all sides have the same length. To find the area of a square, you just take one side to the second power. It's a side squared. That's all the area of a square is. So let's say you have 9 meters for the length of a square for one of your sides, which means all of them are going to have 9 meters. To get the area of that square, you're just going to take that 9 meters to the second power. Now 9 to the second power, that's 81. And then meters to the second power, that's meters squared. So your area is going to be 81 meters to the second power, 81 meters squared for your square. Alright. Let's say we have 12 miles. So this time we picked miles. The length of one of the sides of this square is 12 miles. In order to get the area of that square, we're going to take that 12 miles, we're going to take that to the second power, which 12 to the second power, that's 144. The miles to the second power, that's miles to the second power. So your answer for the area of this square is 144 square miles, 144 miles squared, however you'd like to say that. And really, that's all there is to find the area of a square. Now let's go over the area of a triangle. Let's do the area of a triangle. So, let's say what you have here, the length of this base of the triangle is, we'll say 50 inches. It'll be 50 inches for the length of the base. We don't know the height. We need to find the height. Let's just make up the height and say the height will go straight down. It'll be coming straight up from one end of the triangle to the other, because none of these sides could be the height. It'd have to be a straight length to be the height. If they're slanted like that, they can't be the height. So let's say the height was 30 inches. To find the area of a triangle, it's going to be half of the base times the height. The area of a triangle is going to be half the base times the height. So to find the area of this triangle, we'll take 1/2 times the base, which is 50 inches rather. Half of 50 inches times the height, which is 30 inches. Right? Okay, so 1/2 of 50, we're just going to multiply from left to right. Half of 50, well, that's going to be 25 inches times 30 inches. So now we need to figure out what's 25 times 30. That's 750. Then you have inches times inches. That'd be inches squared. So the area of this triangle is going to be 750 square inches, or 750 inches squared. Alright, let's do another type of triangle. Let's do what's called a right triangle. A right triangle, which we're going to get more into triangles in a few lessons here. A triangle, right triangle, has a perfect right angle on one side. It forms a nice perfect corner. That little piece I put there signifies it's a right triangle. It's just perfect corner. So again, the area is still half the base times the height, but let's say the height is let's say the base rather is 17 centimeters. The height would be about 40 centimeters. The height's 40 centimeters. So now let's make the base 18. I'd rather not have to bust out decimals if at all possible. Alright, the base is 18 centimeters, the height is 40 centimeters. So we have a perfect height in a right triangle because it goes straight up. So what we'll do now, area is going to be equal to half of the base, which is 18 centimeters, times the height, which was 40 centimeters. Right? So now we multiply half times 18, you'll get 9 centimeters times 40 centimeters, which would give you an area. If you do 9 times 40, that's 360. The centimeters times centimeters, that's centimeters squared. So the area of this triangle is 360 centimeters squared. And that's really all there is to it, defining triangles. So the next lesson is going to be about finding areas of parallelograms and trapezoids, at which time I'll explain what those are. But I hope everyone has a good day and take care.